Good morning, y'all. Well, we are off and running on another day, which is day 96, leaving Eckville shelter and the house that the caretaker stays in. And it is 6:30, and it was pretty warm all night. I slept pretty well, but it never really cooled off. And weather really hasn't changed. It's supposed to rain this afternoon and fairly hard tonight. So we're gonna try to go 17 miles, and we have a pretty rocky stretch from all the comments that I've read in Gut Hooks. That from this road right here, which is Hawk Mountain Road, all the way to Fort Franklin Road, it's about 8 or 9 miles, and it's one of the rockiest stretches on the entire AT. So, yeah, we'll just get through it and make it to the shelter, get our 17 miles in for the day, and that'll be it. I think there are a few views along the way, so hopefully we'll get some good shots, as long as it doesn't rain. And, yeah, that's about it. There's a few hikers here last night, some of which I'd seen before, way back in Virginia. So yeah, Jay and I are going to stay together today and make it to that next shelter. I doubt we'll stay in the shelter. It's very old and it's full of mice, so we'll probably tent even though it's going to rain. And that is about it. So it's a pretty morning right now, and it's only supposed to be 85, so that's a good thing. All right, let's get going. Every autumn they would come here, men carrying shotguns, rifles, ammunition, and whiskey, women toting picnic baskets with children in tow. The men would take aim at the migrating birds and then fire their weapons. Then 6 seconds later would come the loud crackling sound as dozens of birds would crash into the dry leaves on the valley floor below. Some were dead, some would soon die, but all were left to rot on the ground. Everyone would whistle and cheer as they believed they were doing a civic duty of ridding the world of the hated hawks, which were believed to prey on their domestic chickens, rabbits, and pheasants. Never mind that very few hawks actually prey on chickens, and too bad that bald eagles were also part of the indiscriminate slaughter. Every autumn, these migrating birds journey over 6,000 miles from the Canadian Arctic to southern Chile and follow this ridge for 300 miles using the thermals and updrafts of air deflected off this mountain. This annual hunt occurred for over 100 years until Rosalie Edge raised enough money to lease and then buy 1,400 acres of this mountain, and she closed the area to hunters in 1934. Today, it is a sanctuary of 2,600 acres, owned and operated by a nonprofit association with over 9,000 members. Some contend that Edge was the first environmentalist, followed by Rachel Carson, who used this mountain's data in her classic book, Silent Spring, in 1962. They both would become the major voices of influence and those who would establish the Wilderness Society, the Nature Conservancy, and the Environmental Defense Fund. And it all started right here on this ridgeline. And now you know the rest of the story. Hey y'all. So day 96 has come to a close, and had to call an audible and had a change of plans. Jay and I left Eggville shelter this morning. Left around 6:30 and had a pretty big ascent right off the bat, and then we got into some really rocky sections, a lot of bouldering, and just slowed down everybody, and not just us, but all the hikers were at a slow pace today. So you got to be real careful, and when you're coming down off some of those, and I had about a 3-foot drop, and I placed my foot right where I wanted it to be, right on a leafy area between rocks. What I didn't know that there was another rock underneath there, very small and pointed, and I landed right on it, and it rolled my ankle and caused me to fall to the left. I immediately had my trekking poles there and tried to brace it, and my left trekking pole snapped in half. So I crashed down into the boulders below. Banged up, but nothing's broken that I can tell. And just kind of stayed there for a while and reassessed everything, and was able to get up and hobble and made it on down the trail. As it turned out, Tony, our friend that we've seen several times, was setting up trail magic unbeknownst to us. Just a few miles down the trail, and I stopped there, was able to get a sandwich and some Mountain Dew, and I was still pretty sore. It wasn't coming around as quickly as I thought, so I knew it was going to start raining. I knew it was going to storm tonight. Had a broken trekking pole. I had to figure out what I was going to do with that, so I decided to find the nearest hostel, and I was able to do that. And I was lucky. It was only like 0.1 miles off the trail, so I was able to walk actually to this hostel, Lookout Hostel. And a few other hikers here that I know, and was able to cook and do laundry and get a shower and just kind of check out my knee and my ankle and just see what I'm going to do next. So I only was able to do basically 11 miles today, but these things happen. There's another person I was talking to today that just got back on trail, and they had fallen in Harper's Ferry right after it and broke several ribs. So they're just now getting back on trail after 3 weeks. So, I'm reassessing tonight. I think I'm going to try to hike tomorrow. I'm going to find another hostel or nearby inn just for the comfort of the bed and bath and the whole bit, not have to worry about tenting and all that good stuff. So yeah, just gonna take advantage of some of the comforts that are around me. Still trying to make my way to Delaware Water Gap, which is the New Jersey state line, and I'm hoping to do that in the next 2 or 3 days. And if it doesn't work out, then I'll get off trail again. But did take probably my second worst fall. I took a pretty bad one way back in North Carolina. But busted up my face on that one. But this one, I really landed on this right knee and rolled my ankle and my right elbow. So these things happen. So that's the plan. I'm going to stay here tonight. I got plenty of food, and try to get out of here in the morning if I'm feeling up to it, and keep going. If not, I'll be here another day zeroing. So that's what happened. Jay was going on without me. I wasn't going to see him tonight anyway. He was going to stop early, and then I think he was going to meet somebody, a friend of his or somebody. So we were able to say our goodbyes back there with Tony. And then the crazy thing was is at this hostel, Tony showed up yet again. He was just handing out trail magic, and he didn't know I was even here, so I got to see him again. But that's the plan. I'm safe. I'm sound. I'm not badly injured, just kind of banged up. So that's what happens on the trail. So we'll see how I do tonight, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, y'all. Bye-bye.